Today for my food vlog, I'm going to be making flan. Flan is one of the most popular Latin desserts, and it originally was created by the Roman Empire, but over time the Spaniards kind of took it over, and it used to be considered like a savory dish, but the Spanish decided to turn it into more like a sweet, creamy, custardy dish and added caramelized sugar. So we have the Spanish to thank for the sweet dessert, and yeah, let's get started. It wasn't hard for me to find the ingredients because they're pretty simple grocery store items, but I did go to the grocery store by myself because I figured it would be good practice for me for my time abroad and like prepare myself on what I'm gonna have to face in the upcoming months. I decided to make this dish because my neighbor is actually from Madrid, and whenever she comes over she always brings a homemade flan, and like I just always remember how much I love it and how great it is. So she actually gave me her own recipe, and I'm going to make my flan from an actual recipe that a person from Spain wrote me. The first step I decided to do was to crack 6 eggs into this bowl, and now I'm going to add this 8-ounce cream cheese. So I already added 6 eggs, a block of cream cheese, and 1 can of evaporated milk, but it calls for 2 cans, so now I'm gonna pour the last can in, and it looks like that. Now the next thing it calls for is to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, so we're gonna pour that in. Calls for is to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, so we're gonna do that now. We're gonna pour it in. And then lastly, it asks for 1/8 of salt, and I already put it in. So there we go. After we just put the 2 cups of sugar into the pot, it says to stir the sugar until a light brown color forms in the sugar. And then when we're done, we're going to go on to our next step. So I'll show you in a few minutes. Alright, so it appears that the sugar is hot enough. I'm assuming that this is a light brown color my neighbor was talking about. All the chunks have melted, and I'm ready to coat the bottom of my bowl. Alright, the sugar is really hot, so I'm going to try my best not to completely burn myself. I just turned the stove off and I moved it over. And it looks good, it looks caramelized. So I'm going to put this here. And now I'm just going to pour it into the bottom of the bowl like this. Yep, it's definitely hot. And kind of coat the sides. And I guess I'm supposed to pour. Okay. It's kind of sizzling, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be correct. But we are going to hope for the best. A neat trick my neighbor taught me is, instead of hand mixing all the stuff in a bowl or using an electric mixer, it gets it done a lot quicker if you put it into a blender and blend it all. So while I was caramelizing the sugar, I poured all the stuff into this blender, and I'm gonna blend it. Okay, now I believe that both ingredients are ready to be put together and thrown into the oven at 350. I'm now gonna pour the custard mix into the caramelized sugar bowl. And you just kind of pour it over all the sugar and fill up the bowl just like that. And there we have it. Okay, so I just placed my flan into the oven, and it is supposed to be double broiled at 350 degrees for an hour and 30 minutes. So I just took out the flan from the oven after it's been baking for an hour and 30 minutes, and now it's time for it to sit in the refrigerator for 2 hours so it can properly set and cool. Okay, so this is the semi-final product. I waited around 2.5 hours for my flan to set, but when I took it out, it was not completely set, and as you can see, this is one slice I got that was kind of thickened and set for the most part, and I have a caramelized top, but the flan didn't completely set, and when I took it out, it completely spilt over, so that's something to learn forward for next time. I was looking over the steps. I realized that these are pretty basic, easy steps that anyone should be able to do when cooking. I'm not a very big cooker, and I kind of got with it with a breeze, except the one thing that I kind of felt a little challenging and difficult for me to do by myself was to caramelize the sugar. It was really hot and I did burn. This is a portion of my finished dish. It's a slice. The entire bowl. When I took out my flan, like I said, it kind of all oozed out because I didn't realize this middle wasn't set, and I even set it for an extra 30 minutes. But I did read more into it, and it said that it's better to make it a few days in advance for it to really set because it is like a custard. So I guess that is something in advance that I should have thought about. I plan on sharing this dish when it's completely done with my brother, my mom, and my dad because they all especially love flan. I'm also gonna see if my neighbor wants to try my rendition of it, and hopefully everybody likes it just as much as I do. I think when I go over to my host country, Valencia, that I'm going to definitely order a flan at a restaurant because I love it. It tastes really good, and I want to see how different they taste compared to the American version of Spanish flan versus the original Spanish flan. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to try that and all the other traditional foods that Valencia holds.